All right, match 4. Hoping to get a win here as we don't just totally bomb out. Let's mulligan this. No forest. All right, sure. This is, I mean, yeah, sure. We'll go turn 1 scout, turn 2. I actually do kind of like Thermokarst. This is kind of our game plan, right? So we'll keep that. Let's play our turn 1 scout. And if nothing else, at least it's something to do. Ship the old turn. Sorry, Mike is messaging me, so I got a little distracted there. Looks like it's either Affinity or Boros, and it's Affinity. So 2 Affinity matches, not, the greatest, but I think what I can go ahead and do is actually just go ahead and Thermokarst that, which I think is what I will do. Yeah, game plan. Like I mentioned in the other Affinity video, I think blowing up their lands is pretty key. Sometimes they have a hard time recovering from it. So that's what we will do. Unfortunately, now we kind of can't, we don't really have anything else going on. And they have another Great Furnace to follow it up. Great Furnace is also my favorite land to blow up, so that's why I did that. Yeah, but then they do this. And things are bad. Well, maybe not bad. They're certainly not good. I hope I don't hit a land. Alright, I will accept a Mole Drifter. That's something that could conceivably get me back into this. Leaving back Sakura Tribe Scout. Maybe I want to double block Frogmite or something. Is this a Thoughtcast? No, it's an ATOG. Well, now I don't want to block Frogmite. Now I want to block this ATOG. So I will not block. Yeah, I can take 2 here. No big deal. They're missing a land drop too, it looks like, so I can blow up this other land. This ATOG is going to be pretty defanged, as it were. I wonder what my opponent is considering here. Maybe they're just... I really don't know. Are they considering sacrificing this to ATOG? That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, okay. They're just taking their time. Let's plop that forest back on down. Okay. Let's plop this Mole Drifter on down. A lot of plopping today. Alrighty. Draw a land and one of the 2 black cards. Should I put... No, I think I'll just chump ATOG with the Coiling Oracle. I'm not really in like a big, huge rush here. If I block ATOG with the Mole Drifter, it will force them. No, let's block like this. Deny them some affinity and get in front of the ATOG. I guess maybe I should have blocked with Coiling Oracle, but I was thinking of the upside of flickering it. Prophetic Prism's a pretty good draw. Really need to find some way of interacting. Mnemonic Wall does get back Thermokarst, and it is a blocker. Yeah, I guess that's the plan. We'll just wait till we need to draw like a swamp or uh Sylvan Ranger is the card I'm thinking of. I need to draw a way to get a swamp so I can play this Denrova Horror, bounce this Atog. Is this a Galvanic Blast on my wall? Yes, it sure is. I might just let them hit me for 1 here. They're not going to sack any artifacts. Yeah, I'm going to do that. If they sack artifacts, they're it's not going to go great for them. So come on, swamp. Another Thermokarst, not exactly what I need. I'm noticing that land destruction is kind of like discard. If you don't draw, I'm leaving my Coiling Oracle back here to block this Germ token, because then they won't have access to the Drum and the Atog. Once they run out of lands, these are just like dead cards. All right, Star is actually kind of scary because they can sack it to Atog and then draw a card off of it. But I still think I'll take 3 here. Oh, and that's not what they're doing. Okay. Come on, Black Source. Right now. Okay, I actually really do like Capsize. 1, 2, yeah, I have plenty. 1, 2, yeah, okay. We're gonna Capsize. We're probably gonna just Capsize the Atog. Do I Capsize main phase? I actually think yes. Just in case they draw a way to like a Galvanic Blast to get rid of it and then counter my Capsize or something. And of course, I can't do it on any of the artifacts because they'll just sack it to the Atog. So I have to get rid of the Atog first. And then I can Capsize the Springleaf Drum. Did they draw Thoughtcast? That'd be pretty good here. Unless, of course, if they give me a land to blow up, I will blow that up. Okay, Reap and Sow is not terrible. That does also let me get my Swamp. So then what I think I will do is I will Denrova Horror the Springleaf Drum back to their hand. Or I could do it to the Germ. No, that doesn't actually help me. I want it to be the Drum specifically. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll have 6. So let's grab that Swamp. All right, cool, cool. Bounce that Drum. And what will they discard? Prophetic Prism. Okay, sure. All right, now I feel like we're in a pretty good position. I think we do have another Mnemonic Wall in our deck, and we definitely still have the Ghostly Flicker. And there's a target for Thermokarst, and there's that Drum. So I think what I'll do, are they going to Galvanic Blast my Horror? Yeah, sad days. Thermokarst and Capsize is going to be the next order of business here. Not going to block. Thornwood Falls, sure. Gain a life. Not the worst. Not the worst. I guess there's no reason to tap my swamp. Because at some point I could capsize this germ token. Actually, my next move is probably going to be to capsize the Frogmite. Because it's the, most damage right now. Affinity is interesting because if they just play enough permanents, they're still fine, but... Okay, Sylvan Ranger, sure. We'll go get another blue source, I think, so that we can maximize the cap sizes. Still just doing it main phase. Now I think we can attack with Coiling Oracle. I don't think they can really block us here. One, two. We almost have enough to capsize twice. We're just 2 lands short. And it looks like our opponent has conceded the game. All right, well, I think that went exactly how we wanted it to go. Definitely going to bring in the natural states. And I didn't really like how I sideboarded previously, I don't think. Going to bring in the Hydroblasts, but I'm wondering if the Thermokarsts are not really where we want to be since we're bringing in the natural states. Like maybe no Thermokarst. Maybe cut the Acid Moss. No, I think I'd rather cut Zakura Tribe Scout. Yeah. I'm sure there are reasons to play that card. All right, let's submit this. See how we do. The natural state is what really clinched us in that other affinity match. That game at least. So that was pretty good. Instant speed, Stone Rain for G. Not shabby, not shabby. I don't hate it. It's very slow, but it could be a lot worse and is good against like an early ATOG. I mean, that is just like one of many ways Affinity can win. So maybe it's not the greatest, but we also have 2 Moonwalvy Acid Mosses. We have a Sylvan Ranger, which actually, now that I think about it, we're not going to cast till turn 3. This hand's probably terrible. All right, and they have like the best start against us, Drum and Citadel. That's exactly the hand I would want to keep against a deck like this. Just capsize. If I draw another land, I could just Sylvan Ranger next turn, so that'd be pretty sweet. Or if they just run out an early ATOG. You almost never want to run out ATOG like this early in the game, but it is conceivable. So, especially since they didn't see any hard removal from us, they just saw like capsize. Looks like it might just, yeah, okay, that's pretty bad. It's the other kind of affinity start where they just play a bunch of 4/4s. Well, there's natural state, and that does get rid of... Yeah, sure. I'm going to natural state. It does get rid of this being a 4/4, so that's kind of nice. Could have gone for the drum, but going after the lands I think is a little bit better because if they don't have another land, they'll have to use this to tap for the mana. If they need to is what I'm getting at. So next turn, okay, they had another indestructible land, sure. Now I wish I'd blown up the drum. Well, now it doesn't matter because now they have Prophetic Prism. So my Moonwalvy Acid Moss is not looking so hot. Gonna Sylvan Ranger for a swamp next turn. And I guess just hope to live till I can get this capsize going. Yeah, they have a very good hand against us. Two indestructible lands, Springleaf Gem and Prophetic Prism, so they don't really have to worry about mana for the rest of the game. So these Acid Moss is looking real terrible. Oh, and there's our swamp. So that's fine. I think we'll still play the Falls. You know, coming into play tapped and all that. What's Sylvan Ranger, and we will grab a blue source. Grabbing an island because I can get more forests off these acid mosses. And if my opponent even doesn't play another land next turn, it might be worth it just to go ahead and acid moss just to get a land of my own into play. If they play another land, of course, that's gravy. Considering blocking this Carapace Forger, probably not terrible. Because I have this Hydroblast for an ATOG. Gear Seeker Serpent. Well, now I want to block a little less. Yeah, this game's not going great. Okay, I'm not going to block here, so I can block the Gear Seeker Serpent. Another Dinrovahor is actually pretty nice. Because it lets me, do it twice. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do this. I have nothing better to do with my turn, and I have an extra one in my hand, and so my opponent, they're gonna be playing one a turn, and it's not good math. It's not good math. Next turn, it sets me up also to actually have enough mana and play to cast the Horror. So yeah, now I'm gonna have to block Gear Seeker Serpent. And then I will Dinrovahor it back to my opponent's hand. And we will go from there. Oh, they could do that too. Does this kill me? I think this doesn't. No, it does. They have the Frogmite. Okay. Alright, sure. Well, I don't really think holding up Hydroblast was correct. Alright, run it back. We will be on the play. I like this hand. Temporal Spring Coiling. Yeah, this is fine. Blow up their first land. Temporal Spring stuff back to their hand. This hand might actually get there. This hand might actually get there. A little awkward having the Simic Growth Chamber, but if it does mean I'll get to cast Temporal Spring on time. Worst case, I guess we can evoke a Muldrifter. Opponent is mulliganing, maybe looking for their indestructible lands. Yeah, going to 5, looking... Okay. Looking for Darksteel Citadel, I imagine. Maybe they found it. But going to 4, I might actually win this one. Critical mass of artifacts and all that. If they go like land drum, I blow up the drum. Oh, or I'm just... Here, I just blow up the land though. So now we'll play out Growth Chamber. Bounce Forest, set up for a nice Temporal Spring turn. Alternatively, could cast the coil. If they do absolutely nothing, maybe it's better to not use the spring. Well, now they're doing stuff, so now I kind of want to... I could, like, Grip Tide the Germ token. Dude, Affinity. Doing Affinity things. I wonder what they're casting. Okay, Frogmite. Yeah, this is, like, suddenly not good. That's fine, though. So I think my plan will be, yes, this turn to... Temporal Spring. Well, I actually do kind of want to put it on the top of their library. I think this turn I will do the germ, though. Just gets rid of one of their creatures and forces them to use the drum with this Frogmite if they want to. Ah, come on. We might lose this game, actually. Just to 2 Frogmites. Well, there's a swamp. I think this turn I will go ahead and Coiling Oracle. Because I don't really, there's nothing I really want to spring here. I want to find like a land destruction, or I want to find something that can get rid of this. Oh, wow. Okay. That's certainly not something I was expecting. Let's go ahead and play our island and pass the turn. I mean, it was maybe it was good. I don't know. When I draw the card, I'll see what it was, and we'll go from there. I'm not 100% sure that was correct on my opponent's part, though. Especially since they know I have Denrova Horror in my deck. Yeah, things are looking kind of rough, actually. On a multi-4, no less. I think that should say a lot about this deck that I'm playing. Hats off to GL Nemesis for making this go 5-0. I would love to have seen those matches because I have no idea how it was done. Because if I can be beat on a... Yeah, see, drawing the Sakura Tribe Scout was just really bad here. If I can be beat when my opponent mulls to 4 and I have 2 Temporal Springs in a natural state, either, like, I guess I'll concede that maybe I fundamentally don't understand how the deck works, but, like, I am not winning. I am losing this game. And my opponent had 1 land, which I blew up. So make of that what you will. I mean, I can't really block here. Mold Shambler is actually a very welcome sight. How much does he cost? 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I don't have 6. That's the problem. It still doesn't really block this Carapace Forger, though, which is unfortunate. At least I'll get to trade off these Frogmites if my opponent lets me, and then maybe I could leverage the Temporal Spring next turn to do some stuff. Or they could play a Mirror Enforcer. That's a thing they could do as well. Sure. I could Temporal Spring my Muldrifter. Seems bad, though. Do you want to block that Frogmite? If they attack with it. They probably won't, because they're just going to replay that other guy. I mean, if they just have Galvanic Blast here, I die, so I have to block. I now like... Sure. Perfect. I'm not salty or anything. Maybe it's coming across that way. I'm just a little frustrated at this deck's lack of being able to beat a mole to 4, was it? It was pretty low, whatever it was. Like, I don't think there's any combination of cards I can draw here that will get me out of this. Oh, their deck's not playing any like fogs or anything. All right, we'll do it. All right, let's go ahead and concede. All right, I'll see everyone in the final match.